Maybe you're looking to go a little bit deeper into your inner work. Maybe you're just looking for life to feel a bit better, and you've dug into therapy techniques, you've dug into spirituality. What we're going to talk about here links all of it. And it's going to link the understanding that we're all holding stuff inside of us that can go. And when this stuff goes, our life is more joyful, more pleasurable. It's fun to be in our body, and it's fun to be here. So if that's what you're interested in, let's talk about it. Now, many of us have read the book, The Body Keeps the Score. Many of us have heard of that phrase. If not, maybe heard other people talk about it. If it's new to you, that's fine. But, there's a lot of talk about, how we hold all of this stuff in our bodies. And we do. For me, when I was digging into this, I think I inherently knew that the way that most of us do, but I didn't understand how that could happen. And it didn't make sense to me, right? Like, okay, that makes sense. Like, somehow inside of me, I know that that's true and real, but I don't understand how that could actually happen. This video talks about that. What we need to understand is that it's all way more physical than you could ever imagine. It is incredibly physical. The way that we hold emotions and trauma inside of us. It's super, super physical, okay? And we're gonna just get right into how this happens. What happens and how it happens. So we're gonna use the example of a young girl, Susie. Let's say she's about 2.5 years old. And she's sitting with her mom at the dinner table, and she's eating dinner, she's eating her noodles, and she's, playing with her noodles, she's putting them in her mouth, she kind of throws them a little bit. She's having a good time. Her and her mom are laughing, just enjoying each other's presence. And then the dad comes home, and dad had a tough day at work. And dad's coming home, and he knows he's not feeling that great. And before he walks in, he's trying to settle himself, right? So that he can come home to his family and just be present with them. He walks in the door, it's okay. But then mom asks him, how's your day? And he couldn't really contain it. He's like, well, this is how my day really was. And he starts to talk about it. And as he starts to talk about it, he starts to feel anger. And his energy is rising. And this anger is starting to come out of him. And the mom is kind of poking him a little bit. She's like, have you thought about this? And what about that? And as she pokes him a little bit, his anger grows. And he's starting to get louder. He's starting to raise his voice. And eventually he stands up. And he's getting really mad. It's turning into rage. Now, Susie, this little girl, is sitting here, and she's watching all of this. Now, she went from enjoying her little noodles, right, and just playing around, playing with mom, to basically she's like, what's going on? Right? Something's not okay. And in this not okayness, she's basically wondering, what's going to happen? Is dad going to hurt mom? Is dad going to hurt me? The ground is shaky, right? And so what Susie is experiencing in this moment is a freeze. So her nervous system has gone like this. And she is not moving. She can't move. And in this circumstance, there's nothing Susie can really do, right? She can't speak very well, so she can't ask for something different. She could cry. She can't leave. She can't just be like, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go over here, right? She doesn't really have this capacity yet to decide, to make decisions. And so she's scared, and so she freezes. But it's important to know, what does she do when she freezes? Well, when she freezes, she closes her shoulders in. She brings her head down. And her breathing gets really tight. She's not breathing deep at all. She's squeezing her belly. She's squeezing her legs together. And so her posture ends up looking like this. We've all seen a little kid do that posture, right? And this posture, well, what is it doing inside of her body? What's happening inside of her body when she does this posture? She's creating tension. Okay. So in her freeze, she's creating tension all throughout her body. And this tension is protection. Okay. So it is a way for her body to feel safe, for her body to feel like, if something happens, I have to protect, okay? Just in case, right? And this is the fight, flight, or freeze response. This is the response of our nervous system that's going, so there's danger in the environment. We have to be prepared, okay? So this is her protection. And in this protection, in a sense, like, it is protecting her. Like, her body believes that this is protecting her, right? But let's look at, back to the beginning of this. How is this stuff physical? This is how it's physical. Okay, we create tension in our body. And what happens with this tension is that years and years go by. And the thing is that day, Susie learned something. She learned that when she experiences the energy of anger or rage, that she can go into this tension pattern and her body will feel protected and she will feel protected. So what does she do? She repeats it over and over and over in similar situations, right? Even if there's a slight similar feeling, it doesn't have to be that big situation, something super small. She's going to contract into that pattern. What happens when we contract and recontract for so long? We start to solidify, literally. So if I do this for years, all of this tissue in my body is going to start to harden. And that hardening is basically creating blocks inside of our body. And this is the crucial piece to this video. There's something else that Susie experienced in that moment. You could probably guess what it is. Susie had emotions. Susie was sad. She was also angry, but she felt trapped. She felt afraid, right? And in that moment, Susie froze. She didn't cry. She didn't express anything. She just did this, right? So what happened to the emotions that she was experiencing? They stayed inside. Now, this is very important. Emotions, if they were, you could think of them as like their own being, what's the one thing that they want? They want to move. They are something inside that wants to go up and out in some way, right? It's an energy. Emotions are energy. So if you have something inside of you that is energetic, that's energy, that wants to dispel, but we freeze, what are we doing? We're trapping that energy inside of us. Consider emotions are like water. If water rains in a reservoir, does that water go anywhere? Does it disappear? No, that water stays there until one day it's allowed to move out and away from that reservoir. This is the same with our emotions. So that day, Susie felt sadness, anger, fear, and she didn't let it move. And so she trapped that energy inside of her. And so there's tension she's using, she's afraid, and she's trapping all of that inside. Literally, something wants to come up and out, and she's going, nope, down and in. And she uses the tension to push it down and in. And the tension also is protecting her. This is how it's really physical. Energy is physical. And we can talk about that in another video. But she's using her body to push. We've probably all had the experience of being sad, like maybe needing to cry, but it's not the right time, it's not the right space. So what do? Nope, push. It's super physical. All of this is super physical. It's not esoteric. It's not some like woo-woo thing. And this for me, like, was a really important big discovery for me of being like, oh, it's not actually some like woo-woo stuff. Like, I have loads of tension inside of my body, and inside of that tension is emotions. Is real stuff, real feelings. I have memories inside of that tension. So when I work with that tension, release that tension, I'm releasing everything. I'm releasing trauma when I release that tension. Okay. So can you draw that link? That we tense to push stuff down, we tense to feel safe, and everything, all of that fear that we have of the world is inside of that. If we can release that, let's make it really simple. If you release the tension, you're releasing that fear. If you release the emotion, you're allowing that thing to move, you're releasing the tension. Okay? If you release the fear, you're releasing all of it. So, can you work with tension? Can you develop a practice of releasing tension? And watch this channel, subscribe to this channel. We're going to talk a lot more about this stuff as time goes on. We're still kind of in introductory phases right now. Can you release the emotions? This basically means, can you feel again? Can you come back into feeling? Can you come back into a deep place inside of you, like meeting what's there and allowing that stuff to move? If you release emotions, you will release tension. If you release tension, you might release emotions. You're releasing everything at once, basically. You think about, I'm kind of separating it into these things, but it's all one thing. There is no separation. It's all the same for you, for your body. Your body is not separating anything. Your mind, your body, they're not different. You have a nervous system that goes through your whole entire body that connects everything. And there's no like, oh, that's my foot and that's my mind. Your mind is inside of your foot. Your foot is inside of your mind. It's all the same. Okay, this is very, very like fundamental principle stuff. Once you understand, you can start to work with yourself in a really deep way. So this video is really just for you. Okay, if you're struggling in your life, if you want a change in your life, right? For you to just understand that you've experienced hard things in your life. All of us have. We've experienced fear. We've felt danger. We felt afraid. Sadness, guilt, shame, whatever. We all have all this stuff. And when we don't allow it to move, we do something inside of us to lock it in, to tense, right? And so every single one of us has this inside of us. Some, maybe a lot more. Some, maybe less. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that we understand this, and then we develop practices to get this stuff out of us. So if you're going through life and you're really, really struggling right now in certain ways, like maybe depression, anxiety, maybe like just getting through a day is really hard, it's because you have a lot of stuff. Your cup is full. Okay, so make it really simple. You have to have practices that help you empty the cup. When your cup gets like down to here, life feels completely different. Life actually becomes like pretty fun. and joyful. You start to feel more like a kid again. Okay, so that's possible. And we're just working on emptying that cup. I'm likely going to make another video about this next week, just to go a little bit deeper. So we can call this part 1. This video is part of a playlist on my channel. It's called The Gates of Healing. Every month, at the beginning of the month, I just open up a new gate. It's basically a new way to think about healing, a new tenet of healing, and we talk about that all month. So this one is about how we store, and that's tension, emotions. That's what we're talking about this month. I also have a bunch of meditations on my channel. There's a meditation playlist. Check that out. And those meditations are all about this, right? How to empty. So thank you for watching this video. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe for more. I'd love to see you more. And I pray you have a beautiful day, a blessed day. Get out in nature if you can. Peace.